I knew something was wrong the second I walked through the door. The house was quiet, too quiet. No cartoons blaring from the TV. No clattering dishes in the sink. No half-laugh, half-sigh from my wife as she tried to wrangle our kids into pajamas. Just silence. And then I saw the note. It was folded neatly on the kitchen counter. My name written in her hurried script. Daniel. My stomach sank before I even opened it. Inside, in ink that shook as though the pen itself resisted the words, she had written, "Don't look for me. I need to find myself. The kids are yours now." No explanation. No goodbye. Just that. I must have read it 20 times, each time waiting for the letters to rearrange themselves into something that made sense. But they didn't. The collapse. Dad! It was Emily, our 7-year-old. She stood in the doorway, clutching her stuffed rabbit, her eyes big and searching. "Where's Mom?" I couldn't answer. My throat locked up, and I just knelt down, pulling her into my arms. She smelled like shampoo and crayons, and for a moment I wanted to lie, to say Mom was at the store, at work, anywhere but gone. But even at 7, Emily wasn't stupid. "She left, didn't she?" she whispered. The words stabbed deep because she said them like she already knew. The days after. The first few days felt like living inside a storm. The kids, Emily and her little brother Max, only 4, kept asking questions I couldn't answer. When's Mommy coming back? Did she go on vacation? Did we do something wrong? Every time I tried to reassure them, my voice cracked. I wanted to scream, to break something, to beg the universe to give me back my wife, their mother. Instead, I plastered on a calm face for them, then cried into a pillow at night. Friends came by. Some whispered the usual clichés. "She'll come back," or "she just needs space." Others offered pitying glances I couldn't stand. But one question dug into me more than anything. Why us? A hidden truth. 2 weeks after she left, I found the first crack in her story. I had been sorting through the bills when I noticed charges I didn't recognize. Hotel stays, dinners, gas stations hours away from our town. First I thought maybe they were mistakes. But then I checked the dates. Every single one lined up with the nights she had told me she was working late. My chest went cold. I dug deeper. Phone records, credit card statements, old emails. That's when the picture came into focus. There was another man. Someone she had been seeing for months, maybe longer. She hadn't left to find herself. She'd left to be with him. Confronting the ghost. I didn't tell the kids right away. How do you explain to a child that their mother chose someone else over them? Instead, I drove out one night, following one of the addresses on a hotel receipt. I don't know what I was expecting. Some Hollywood confrontation where I'd demand answers and she'd break down, confess everything, beg for forgiveness. But when I got there, I couldn't even bring myself to knock on the door. I sat in my car instead, staring at the glowing numbers on the hotel room, my hands shaking so badly I couldn't grip the wheel. I thought about our wedding day, her laughter, the promises we made. I thought about late nights rocking our newborns to sleep, about road trips, about the life we built together brick by fragile brick. And I realized she had smashed it all without hesitation. I drove home and never told her I'd been there. The kids start to understand. Children sense more than adults give them credit for. One night, Emily crawled into my bed, her small frame trembling. "Dad, did Mom leave because of us?" My heart broke in two. "No, sweetheart," I whispered, pulling her close. "It wasn't you. It wasn't Max. It was, Mom made a choice. A bad one. She doesn't love us anymore." The words made my chest ache. I didn't know how to answer. I wanted to tell her no, that of course her mother still loved her. But love doesn't abandon. Love doesn't vanish into hotel rooms and leave notes on counters. So I just kissed her forehead and said, "I love you enough for both of us." Picking up the pieces. Life forced me to move forward whether I wanted to or not. Mornings became a blur of packing lunches, tying shoes, calming tantrums. I burned dinners. I forgot permission slips. I stumbled through, learning how to parent alone while still nursing a wound that refused to close. At work, I plastered on professionalism. Night I collapsed. Some nights I hated her. I pictured her with him, smiling the way she used to smile at me. I replayed every lie she'd told, every excuse she'd made. Other nights, I missed her so badly I thought it might kill me. The bed was too big. The silence was too heavy. And every morning, I had to face the fact that my kids deserved better than a broken father. The unexpected call. 3 months later she called. I was folding laundry when the phone buzzed. Her name lit up the screen, and for a second my heart betrayed me, it leapt. I answered, my voice colder than I intended. "What do you want, Sarah?" There was silence on the other end, then a shaky breath. I just wanted to hear the kids' voices. The audacity made me want to laugh and scream all at once. "You abandoned them, Sarah. You don't get to just check in when it's convenient." "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I wasn't myself." Don't." My voice cracked. "Don't say you weren't yourself. You made a choice. You left your children for a man you barely knew. That's not losing yourself. That's destroying us." She started to cry, but I hung up. I didn't care anymore if her tears were real. Closure in my own way. That night I sat the kids down. "Mom called," I told them. Max tilted his head. "Is she coming home?" I took a deep breath. "No, buddy. She isn't. Mom made a choice to live somewhere else. But she still cares about you, even if she doesn't live with us anymore." Emily's eyes filled with tears, but she didn't cry. She just nodded, too old for her age in that moment. I realized then that my job wasn't to protect them from the truth. It was to help them survive it. The years that followed. Time did what it always does. It dulled the sharpest edges of the pain, though the scar never faded. Became both parents. I learned how to braid hair, how to patch scraped knees, how to juggle work meetings and school plays. I failed sometimes, but I kept going because they needed me to. Every so often Sarah would reach out. An email, a birthday card, a half-hearted attempt to reinsert herself. First I raged. Then I pitted. Eventually I just ignored her. The kids grew, and with them so did my strength. The letter I never sent. On the 5th anniversary of the day she left, I sat down at the same kitchen counter where I had found her note. I pulled out paper and wrote a letter. "Sarah, you don't get to break a family and then wonder why the pieces don't fit back together. You don't get to leave your children behind and expect them to wait with open arms. You don't get to walk away from the man who loved you more than anything and then cry when he stops caring. But I need you to know something. Forgive you. Not because you deserve it, but because I can't let you live in my head anymore. You don't own my pain. You don't own my story. You do. The kids are thriving. They laugh. They dream. They're stronger than you'll ever know. And me. I survived the storm you left me in. I'm not broken anymore. Goodbye." I folded the letter, placed it in an envelope, and tucked it in the back of a drawer. I never mailed it. I didn't need to. Sometimes I still think about the note she left me. "Don't look for me. The kids are yours now." Back then it felt like a curse. Like she had handed me an impossible burden and vanished into the night. But now, years later, I see it differently. She gave me the only thing that mattered. Full, unchallenged custody of the 2 people who kept me alive when I wanted to give up. The kids were mine. They were always mine. And as I watched Emily walk across the stage at her middle school graduation, Max cheering her on from beside me, I realized something profound. She didn't abandon me. She freed me. Because in the end, the love I lost pales in comparison to the love I still have. And that's enough.